How are you? Welcome, beloved. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Linda, and I'm the host of the Linda Muyobo Show. How is your Friday going? My Friday is going great. I love Fridays. Well, I love every day, really,
Yeah.
because when you love what you do what you love, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we are talking burnout. Do you know what burnout is? Or maybe you're going through burnout and you don't actually realize what burnout is. And to educate us and give us some tools and tips on how to overcome what burnout is the one and only Tanya Obeng, the communication doctor.
Hello, hi.
Hello.
It's great to be on your show today.
Thank you. How are you
and
doing?
we are live. It's amazing.
I know.
I'm absolutely fine. Really excited to talk to people and to raise awareness today. So
I like
really
the
excited.
communication doctor.
Brilliant, brilliant. I want to say that I'm not a doctor. It's just a brand.
Oh, it's just a brand. Of course not.
But it's a brand in terms of communication doctor. Yeah.
But at least you've studied and you know what burnout
Yes, I do.
is.
Yes.
So you have
yes.
every right to be here to talk about it.
Thank you very much.
And
Thank
to
you very
give
much.
people tools on how to overcome that.
Yes, that
Okay,
is right.
good.
Yes.
So we're just going to play a video to set the basis of the topic today. It's just going to take about a minute. We'll be back. So enjoy the video. Go and grab yourself a cup of tea or something. Thank you.
I'm Tanya, the communication doctor, and I help people return to work after long-term absenteeism and help them also to unlock that creativity and communicate in a positive way. I'm going to give you some of my top tips. The first one is identify what your internal pressures are, because sometimes we are internally putting pressure on ourselves, and it could be that we are great perfectionists. But once we identify what those problems are, they can really help us. Number two, keep a journal. Now that is key. It's important. Even if you want to keep a journal for a month as a starting point, look back and you will start to see what your patterns are. You will start to see and identify what's really going on with you. Number three is create a healthy routine. That's really important. So you create a good work-life balance. So you decide, that you're not overworking or you've got time to spend with your family. So you create that balance, which is really important. Number four is one of my favourites, meditate. Take time out to meditate. And if you've never done meditation before, a good starting point is to go to an app called Headspace or have a look at some meditations online, guided meditations as a starting point. It helps you to have real clarity in your mind. Number five, the last top tip today is take time out for yourself, even if it means that you go for a walk in the park once a week or once a day. So give yourself that time out on your own for yourself because it helps you with your mental health. Thank you very much and adios.
Oh, hello, and thank you so much. Thank you for coming back. This is a live show, so you know what? As much as we try to avoid error, sometimes it's not possible. Okay? You might see us adjusting our tops on screen because we are live, but hey, that's how it goes. Today we are talking burnout. When I think of burnout, and actually I have suffered from burnout.
Okay.
I have.
Yes, yeah.
And I was so overwhelmed that it actually impaired maybe my reasoning a little bit. And I didn't actually realize I was suffering from burnout. And I'm sure a lot of people actually are going through that.
You know what? That is just so key, what you've just said there, because a lot of people suffer from the burnout and they don't realise it. And if I'm honest with you, I'd say 1 in 10 people suffer from the burnout.
1 in 10?
1 in 10, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because what happens is a lot of the time we're too afraid because we're being so resilient and strong and we're marching on that we don't want to admit what's going on in our head or those voices that are going on in our head. We don't want to admit what's really going on for us.
That's true.
So we tend to hide, and a lot of people tend to suffer in silence. Really, that is the main problem.
But how do we get people to not suffer in silence and speak out so they can get help?
Well, you know what? That's a really good point, Linda, because we need to do more of that. And the way to get people to speak out is to get them to just basically go and speak to their practitioner. Even if they go to speak to their doctor, they go and see a counsellor, go and see a psychotherapist, go and see a coach. There is so much help out there. Even the Samaritans are really great for people just to talk. But I think what it is raising the awareness and making people feel like it's okay to talk, because a lot of time
we live
don't.
in a microenvironment.
That's right.
Microwave environment.
I love that. It's so much. That is so much so, especially if you live in the city as well, because it's very different energy this city to the country. But yes, it's very much like it. I love that idea. We're all in a rat race, aren't we?
I know.
We get up, we go to work.
Just keep going.
That's right. And there's so much pressure on us, especially as women as well as mothers. I can come from that perspective because I'm a woman and I'm a mother. I come from that perspective. You know, you've got to keep the home together, haven't you? You've got to keep.
You've got to work. You've got to keep the children together.
Exactly.
Keep the husband happy. Do everything else, and you know. It's a lot.
Yeah, I know it is a lot. It's a lot, yeah. And keeping the husband happy is the hardest.
Yeah. Oh, that's for another day. That's for another day, Tanya.
Another topic, okay.
That's another topic, which you're welcome back to come and talk about.
Oh dear.
No, but okay.
Seriously, yeah, it's really hard.
It is hard.
We do need to do a lot, but we also need to give ourselves time. And as I said in the video earlier, it's taking time out for ourselves. So we just slow down, you know, and take time out, go on holiday, and every day take time out, because we always kind of work to a point, think, okay, I'm going to go on a holiday. And I don't know if you're like me, because I used to be the person, I'd go on a holiday, I'd find it really hard not to
adjust.
Yeah, I find it really hard to relax, basically.
Yes.
And that's because I've run my own business for the last 9 years, so I always find it hard to switch off. So I'd take 2 days, if I was away, we were away for a week or maybe longer, it would take me 2 days to
switch
relax.
Off. Wow.
Yeah, because I'd be looking at, I'm sure most people do this, mainly probably men do this more than women, but because I ran my own business, that's what I was doing. So I was on the Hotmail,
we all do.
email, yeah, we
checking
do
your
that.
email, checking your social media and all that kind of stuff, thinking maybe I don't want to miss something out, you know, but you need to switch off and take some time for yourself. Exactly. You know what I did when I was doing the research for this topic? Please confirm if it's true.
Brilliant, I'll let you grow, roll.
It says, what I Googled and I said, okay, what is burnout? So I went on the NHS, I went on other websites as well. And one of the websites states that it's a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion.
That's right.
Caused by excessive and prolonged stress.
Yes, that's right.
It occurs when you feel overwhelmed, emotionally drained,
yes,
and unable to meet constant demands.
That's right.
And some of the symptoms is chronic fatigue.
Yeah. And that is so important, because what happens with the burnout is if it does get too late, it really can affect our health. And when it affects your health, it is almost a little bit too late. You know, mental health is one thing, but sometimes mental health can turn into something else.
Yes.
And it can affect us, you know, physically. And I think that's when things are really, really, really a problem. And that's why I do this work, because I would like to be able to get people to speak out. I call myself communication doctor, to speak out and speak their truth.
And I think speaking out doesn't mean that you're weak.
No, you know what?
If anything, speaking out shows your strength.
That is so key. Like that was exactly what I was going to say, because a lot of people perceive that if you speak out, especially within some communities, there's this whole thing of you're vulnerable, you're weak, or you're talking your business. People say, why are you talking my business?
But it's not that.
If you don't do that, if you don't speak out and speak to somebody, even if it's a close friend, before you speak to a counsellor, just speak out, because once you do that, then you're on the road to recovery.
Absolutely.
Because once you identify, and I think a lot of us have this issue, once you identify, you know what, this is too much for me, then there must be a problem. So if anybody's out there saying, this is too much,
please speak out.
Speak out, because that's the first thing, you know, and you're doing a lot and you're thinking, you know what, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Because that feeling of overwhelmed may be anxiety.
That's true.
So a lot of people may see it as being overwhelmed, but it may be anxiety. That's really, really, really key. And the other thing is, when you speak out and you speak about what you're going through, it's healing. It's a real healing process.
Absolutely.
You know, when
is
you
it a
tell
problem
your story.
shared, a problem halved, isn't it?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So please do speak out.
No,
and remember, it's a live call. You can call in. And if you're able to answer any questions at all, please do call in.
That's right.
And some of the other symptoms besides anxiety.
Yeah, there's loads. Oh my gosh, there's loads of symptoms. But I think first of all, it's to identify what's going on, because some people may not identify what these symptoms are, which is why I want to do this show with you today. Because anxiety is a huge one, and I also want to say burnout is basically a form of mental health. I just want to say that as well.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people are getting very confused. I get so much messages. Because I get so much messages on my LinkedIn, and they say, "Oh, I'm not having mental health issues, but I'm going through the burnout." And I find that incredibly funny. But you know, not incredibly funny in a bad way, but they have not identified that it is a mental health issue. Yeah. Okay. And 1 in 10 people go through this every day. So, you know, with regards to anxiety and also depression, and exhaustion, they're all kind of forms or the symptoms of burnout. And also one huge one is insomnia.
Insomnia, oh yes.
Because
yeah.
a lot of people, if your mind is really busy, so you've got so much things going on, so you're not able to sleep. And I just want to say, people that suffer from the burnout often tend to be people who are professionals, people who are perfectionists. So anybody that's a real perfectionist. These people are.
There's nothing like that.
Yeah. These people are prone to suffer from the burnout. So I think I just want to make that awareness, because a lot of people have an idea of people that go through the burnout, but it's normally, in my job, what I experience is there's a lot of people who are executives, who are, especially in public sector, who are teachers, because that's my background.
That's a lot of pressure as well.
Headmasters. A lot of people who are doctors, people who are high profile people, they tend to suffer with the burnout, and a lot of them, they don't stop or realise, because they might be talking to someone else about the
just
burnout.
Like a fast train, isn't it?
That's
just
right,
keep going.
that's right, but they're not actually identifying things. But the perfectionist thing is key, because a lot of athletes as well, because it's not giving up, it's when you want all your ducks in a row, you want everything to be perfect, and you can't sleep because you're worried about your project that you're going to do.
But that's impossible. There's nothing that is perfect.
Yeah, exactly. But
you're
that's
just
the
putting
problem.
too much pressure on yourself.
Of course. No, of course. But that's why I want to make aware, because a lot of people go through it. Yeah. A lot of people go through it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, that's it. Well, I think I covered a lot. Anxiety, exhaustion, insomnia.
Loss of appetite.
Yes. You know what? You have to identify that it affects different people differently.
How did burnout affect you?
So that's probably the best thing to talk about. I didn't realise I went through the burnout. I only realised that I went through the burnout when I started studying the burnout to help other people.
Wow. And that was how long ago?
Oh, you know what? Probably about 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. I started looking at. I started just reading up on. I was reading up on mental health. Actually, that was what it was, because my mum had dementia. And I was, you just want to help out. I really wanted to help out and help my mum in some ways, or try to understand what was going on with my mum, really. And I was also looking back at little things that she did, because when I was in my probably mid to late 20s, when I realised my mum used to drive everywhere and she stopped driving.
How is your mum? Is she still alive?
No, my mum passed away.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, mum passed away. But I look back at her dementia and just wanting to help people, because I also do work in care homes as well. So my company, Lifted and Gifted, we do a lot of work in care homes as well as working in schools. And that's where my research came. That's when I just started reading, because I wanted to learn more about it. And the more I read...
And it was through the research that you found that actually you were suffering from burnout.
Yeah, what I'd gone through myself. Yeah.
But I think I can actually relate to that, because I think when I gave birth to my boy, he's now 15. It wasn't, and then the second boy came a year later.
Yeah.
It wasn't planned, but hey, things happen.
Yeah.
And you know what? When I look back, I was actually stressed and burnout.
Yeah. You know what? It's a lot of people go through.
You don't actually realize it.
Yeah, postnatal depression. You know, it's huge, and a lot of time when you are a mother, you're trying to do the best things that you can, especially you're a new mother, you've never done it before, especially if you've got no family around you. So sometimes you can feel very alone if you've got no family around you. You got your first child. It could be a very lonely place.
It can be.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, doing the show and working full time as well. Sometimes I feel the burnout. I do. I do. But I have my way of coping with it.
Yeah. So when you say you feel the burnout, would you say you feel exhaustion? So
it's more exhaustion.
Exhaustion.
It's more exhaustion.
So in that way, you're realising that you're exhausted.
Yes.
And then by identifying that you're exhausted, you can now think, okay, you know what, I need to probably just go for a walk. And I always say to people, just go for a walk in the park, or you can go for a cycle, or go to the gym. The gym's great. For some people, it's great to just
I used to go to the gym, now I
do a
don't
lesson.
anymore. my way of actually getting out of exhaustion is I love playing gospel music.
Yeah, oh, there you are. Have a dance around the house.
Oh, yes, I do.
Have a dance, have a sing.
Yeah, have a sing.
All of this is brilliant for helping
and
people.
And it really does help.
Yeah.
But you know what, the thing is, don't take this lightly. If at all you're watching and you're suffering from burnout, please do get in touch.
Yeah.
It is serious. We don't want it to progress to mental health.
That's right. Yeah.
Prevention is key.
Yes.
Prevention is key.
No, definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
The sooner you identify some of the symptoms that we've talked about, the sooner you can actually seek help. And by speaking about it, you're not exhibiting weakness. If anything, you're exhibiting a lot of strength.
Oh, totally, totally. You know, it does take a lot. I just taken from what you've just said there. It does take a lot to speak out.
It does. I know it does.
I did a thing called Story Party, and the first time I did Story Party, I felt like a weight had lifted off my shoulders.
Is it?
And because I just felt like I could fly, you know, I felt really light because that was the first time. Because Story Party, you tell your personal story. So it was the first time that I'd shared in a group, that I'd shared anything personal, because my background is teaching drama. So, you know, I'm not afraid of an audience. I'm not afraid in that kind of a way, but I'd normally step into a character, you know, if it's drama. So actually to share something of yourself, it does take a lot. And once you've shared it with a group of people, you start feeling so much better about yourself, because you feel like, okay, I've been carrying
and actually,
it.
you're not the only one suffering from it.
Yeah, that's right. We carry our stories, we carry our stuff. And when we speak out, it's like we release what we're carrying. And that is a real healing process.
And you actually feel lighter. It's very true what you say. You feel a lot lighter. So get somebody and speak to somebody, please. You know?
No, definitely.
Speak to somebody so you don't suffer this insomnia, exhaustion, loss of appetite, anxiety.
Or the opposite, you could be eating emotionally. So obviously it's opposite, you could go from one way to the other.
Different symptoms for different people.
For different people, that's right. Yeah.
Any upcoming workshop?
Well, for me, okay. Well, basically, I do a lot of one-to-ones at the moment.
Okay.
A lot of my workshops are with small companies.
Okay.
So there's nothing open to, say, the public at the moment, unless you're somebody there that is suffering with regards to mental health. You could definitely contact me. So my website is www.communicationdoctor.co.uk. So if you are suffering, just give me a call. It'd be great to speak to you.
Can you just repeat the website again, please, just in case they missed it?
Okay, so it's www.communicationdoctor.co.uk.
And they can also, you're on LinkedIn?
I'm on LinkedIn, yes, that's right. So you can find me on LinkedIn as well. You can send me a message. I get lots of messages actually on LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn,
It's a great platform for me.
Twitter?
And you can also find me on YouTube as well.
On YouTube, okay. The Communication Doctor.
And if you just put in Tanya, it's Tanya, the Communication Doctor.
And it will come up.
And you'll find me online. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And, you know, I help a lot of people to speak out. That is what I do. And I mainly help people who have been on long-term absenteeism. So if you've been on long-term...
returning to work,
that's
isn't
right.
it?
So I've got a return to work scheme. And I've got an Unlock Your Creativity scheme. So they work kind of one after the other.
Okay.
Because sometimes it's a process to get people to get confident enough to return to work or to reposition.
Especially due to sickness, or maybe they're on maternity leave.
Yeah, that's
so they can get in touch with you. You can help them with that progression.
Yes, it mainly help them to kind of build confidence and also to speak their truth, so they can speak out. Because a lot of the times, I said, they're holding everything inside of them, and they probably don't even realise
that they're holding.
This is affecting them in terms of getting work and progressing in life. So it's really important to do that. And then once we kind of get through that stage, I do another program which you could do a bit later, which is called Unlock Your Creativity.
Okay, I like
that. Which is brilliant, because that is me. I see myself as a creative, you know.
So what does that entail? Unlocking your creativity?
Oh, it entails lots of things.
Okay.
Basically, it's very personal to different people.
Okay.
Just like, you know, because we all deal with things differently. So, for example, if you're somebody who likes writing poetry, I will encourage you to write the poetry. Okay. If you're someone that used to be an artist, if you think of when you were a child.
So whatever skills you have, you can actually use it, isn't it?
That's right. So if you think of when you were a child, if you look back and think about what you loved creatively, because some people may have loved artwork, some people may have loved dancing.
Yes.
So it's finding out what you love and kind of going back to your roots. So what I kind of do is peel the layers off. And like Carl Jung says, a psychotherapist, like peeling off your layers, peeling your onion, and kind of getting to the core of who that person is.
Okay.
And your creativity is a way of expressing yourself, and it also helps you with your work as well. So if you are repositioning or you're starting a new business, it's really important to kind of tap into what it is you're good at, because some people forget their talents. They get so used to doing what they
But
do
you
every
know
single
what?
day,
Now
they
that
forget what their talents
now
are.
that you've explained that, that's actually another way of actually overcoming burnout.
It is, yeah. That's why I do it. It's all linked.
Oh,
It's all researched. It's all, it's all
I
linked. That's why
like
I do the
that.
2 programs, because yeah,
But you
yeah.
know what? A lot of people are actually sitting at home and not using their skills. They're not being creative
Yes,
at all.
yes, yeah. Well, a lot
Because
of
we
people
are
don't
all
know they have it.
born
Yeah.
with something that we can do.
Yes.
We all have it.
Yes. 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 Totally. Totally.
But it's just finding somebody to identify that gift
Mm.
and nurture it and make it grow so you can use it.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That is so true, because a lot of time we don't. We have these gifts, but we don't use them.
Yeah.
And sometimes we forget we have them because you lose confidence.
You do, and confidence is a big thing. Well, that's for
right.
another day, Tanya.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Because if you have experienced trauma, that really affects you.
It does.
So
it does.
that's you kind of suppressing a lot of your expression and your emotion. So using your creativity and kind of coming back to what I call is a sense of self. Then by coming back to a sense of self, you feel like you're able to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it's a real process, a real journey with me in terms of the 2 courses that I do, because there are a lot of people out there who are very, very kind of quick. And, for some people, it's just too fast. The pace they're going, they're moving way too fast. And some people just want to slow right down, identify what's going on for them. And that's why I use a lot of mindfulness techniques, because I'm a great fan of meditation.
I tried meditating, Tanya. And it
Oh,
didn't
did you?
work.
We spoke about that, didn't
know
we?
we
Oh, it's
did.
been. Have you tried? Did you?
I tried.
You tried, and how did you find it?
I couldn't switch off.
You could. Oh wow, that's probably very common. It's not common for a lot of people. Very
But
common.
they said if you're just starting meditating, it happens.
Yeah.
You know what? I want you to look into that camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And just give them the tips again that they can use.
Yes.
Please.
Okay. Yes, I will do. All right.
With
so,
your social media links as well. You got about a minute or so.
oh, brilliant. Okay. Right. So I'm Tanya, the communication doctor. In regard to social media links, you can find me on my website. You can find me on YouTube, and you can find me on LinkedIn. And my top tips for helping people who feel that they are going through the burnout or through the early stages of the burnout, one of them is to keep a journal, because as you're keeping a journal, you're able to see what your patterns are. If you feel that you are so overwhelmed, seek help. So go and see a professional and see somebody who you feel you really identify with or you really resonate with, because the worst thing is to see a counsellor or see a therapist or a coach who you don't feel that you connect with. So find somebody who you really, really connect with, so then you can open up. Because I always say it's no competition, isn't it, with coaching? Because it's just about who you connect with and who you are.
That's very true.
And the other thing is with regards to insomnia, go and get some help. I'm a real fan of natural remedies, because I'm also a Bach flower practitioner. So there's lots of great natural remedies, homeopathy, things that can really help you to switch off. Because when we're really busy, we do have that mind, which we call in Buddhism the monkey mind, where you've got so many things going on, and you have to sometimes learn how to quieten that mind so you can focus on what you want to do. And when you focus, you have clarity. So it's a big process. And as Linda said earlier today, you tried to meditate and you found meditation really hard. But there is also an app out there which you can get on your phone, which is called Headspace. And that's a real great starting point for learning how to meditate. There's also lots online that you can do. But mindfulness, just concentrating on one thing. I always say in my mindfulness course a while ago, you've got a cup of water that you have. You can focus on that cup of water and just focus on that cup of water for 2 minutes. That is mindfulness.
All right. I'm going to try and practice that.
It's as simple as that. So you're just clearing your mind, but your focus is changing. And as your focus is changing, you're doing all that clearing. You're getting rid of everything that's going on for you.
Thank you so much, Tanya.
Thank
you
you
so much.
Brilliant.
Now, you know what? You're going to have to come back again.
Oh, I know. There's so much more to talk about,
Now, I'm so excited. I know I'm always doing some stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I want to invite you. I'm opening up a book club in Pearly
Okay.
on the 11th of May. I'll put up I don't know whether they can put up the flyer, but I'll put it up later. Yeah, the flyer is up now. Please, if you live around Southeast London, look it up and come. This is a book club with a difference. And I'm going to be heading one of the book clubs in Pearly. And please, I would love you to come. This is a book club where you can find your purpose. They can support you from naturally your business, from an idea to actually being born into fruition. Okay? And next week, You got to tune in. If you are a serial investor and you're looking for another place to invest, maybe you're thinking of going outside of the UK for investment. You've thought about a country, but you're not sure. Next week, I have the High Commissioner of Uganda in the UK coming on my show to talk about investment opportunities in Uganda. So you don't want to miss that. If you're a serial entrepreneur and you want to invest some abroad, why not tune in? And you can ask any questions. Okay. Now, thank you so much, Tanya. I know you're going to come back.
I've definitely. Thank you. You heard it on Lindsay Myobo's show.
That's right.
I'm coming back.
No, it's been lovely because we couldn't cover everything.
There is so much to cover.
There is a lot to
so
cover,
much, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And burnout is a very, very big topic,
is,
and we don't want you to suffer in silence. Please do speak out. Do speak out, because don't suffer in silence. No matter what it is, try and find somebody that you can talk to. Okay, try and find somebody. We all have somebody that we can relate to.
Yeah.
If you don't have money for a coach or a mentor, try and find somebody, even a school teacher, a neighbor, a friend. You're going to the supermarket, just speak to somebody what the problem is. Because we don't want you to end up onto the mental health side of things, whereby you're going to be put on medication. The most important thing is to identify the problem right now,
That's right.
seek help, and prevent it.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, we could talk about it with regards to children as well.
Yes.
You know, with regards to children.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, God bless. Bye-bye.
God, that's gone so quick.